How did reason lead you to choose Islam over atheism? Ibn Tashfin. Shukran, much love for the super chat. How did reason lead you to choose Islam over atheism? Well, you see, there's many. Right, sorry, I was just reading another. Right, so naughty, a few other comments. Yeah, so, well, there's a bunch of things to really say about that. See, well, atheism is a bit of a, I don't know, I think it's a bit of a hard sell. In the sense, depends on how it's being sold and who it's being sold to. So to me now, because this question is being directed to me, so I can only answer from my perspective. The world is incredibly profound. Existence or being with a capital B is incredibly profound, and the kind of the path to the transcendent for me is clearly directed by consciousness. So consciousness is, I mean, it's just a wrecking ball for conceptually for atheism. Like atheism, the concept of there being no divine transcendent being is, for me, very weak in light of consciousness. That is the most powerful argument. It beats the teleological, beats the cosmological, beats the ontological. It beats, for me, consciousness is the most profound kind of marker which points to the transcendent. So, okay, so that said, then next there is the concept of the intelligibility of being with a capital B. This intelligibility of being itself, that being, that anything is intelligible. This is like, whoa, it cannot, to me, that juxtaposed with the random coherence of everything, it obliterates every single time. It wins, hands down every single time. So it does, like, I can't, you see, so the random coherence of matter and therefore, by extension, coherence of meaning. So meaning is simply just randomized synchronization. It's nothing. Like, meaning is nothing. It is just arbitrary, randomized cohesion of whatever it is. That is meaning. That could never be meaning. Meaning is much more powerful than that. And the fact that meaning with a capital M, this is like, how can that be arbitrary, randomized cohesion of phenomenon translate to coherent, meaning with such power that we begin to fathom the cosmos? Those two can't translate. So, yeah, I mean, I get it that people can say that. Like, I get it that people can act as if they don't believe in a God. or they can pretend to act as if they don't believe in a God. I believe everybody believes kind of in a God. So they may not call it God. They may kind of defer it to a value of some kind, but whatever it is, what's at the apex of this hierarchical structure, whatever it is. So, but they all believe in it, that, and it is greater than them, and it is not arbitrary. You see, so it's impossible. Honestly, I feel that, yeah. Take life itself. You take life. Does it have a sanctity? Would you say yes? Why does it have a sanctity? Why? Say, well, it's precious. Why is it precious? Say, well, why? Like, what makes life precious? You say, well, because we're incredibly unique. Says who? Say, we're unique from our perspective. Our perspective is arbitrary. Are we unique from the tardigrades' perspective? Tardigrades have survived, much more substantially than we have. They can even survive in space. So what makes human, just taking life itself, especially human life, why is it special? There's nothing special about it if it's just arbitrary. I think there would be somewhat of a consensus amongst people that they cannot deny the sanctity of human life. But why can't they deny it? And just to give it some utilitarian value is not the truth. To say, well, because human beings can do things like make schools or make countries, and so what? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Who says human beings are precious? So when we say, well, that's exactly my point, defeats the point. It's arbitrary. It's arbitrary. It doesn't mean anything. So, but then that defies the reality in which we live. The reality in which we live, we seem to intuitively know that that is wrong, because human life is valuable. But why is it valuable? You say, but we just seem to know it. Because you see, now this is it. Now you start to go deeper within, and there are values that transcend. Those values, you can't, even if you can't prove them, even if you can't entirely rationalize them, but you, or accurately rationalize them, you know them to be true, whatever that means. And it's not a empiricist's claim. It's not, it seems to be an intuitive claim. But it is for a hierarchical value that is above just randomization or above these things. And it's inexplicable in and of itself. You can't explain it. You see, it's so everybody fundamentally obeys the sacred, but they just disagree between themselves on what that sacred is. I don't mean on all of them. They would all agree pretty much on human life, but between them, what else can they parameterize with that sacred? They disagree. So, but that doesn't, there's the elephant in the room, though. Why is anything sacred? So yeah, I hope that helps.